Rick Smith Show. Check out the website, thericksmithshow.com. Questions, comments, something on your mind, you can email me, Rick, at thericksmithshow.com. In the studio, off the streets, I guess they've thrown him off the streets. Joe Sestak has written a great book, Walking in Your Shoes, to restore the American dream. And boy, I think it needs a lot of work. Joe, thanks for coming in the studio and sitting down with us.
Rick, it's great to be with you. Thanks.
So you literally walked across the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What'd you find?
I found that people do want to believe again, that they can actually have leaders that will actually be willing to say, hey, hold me accountable, not for my intentions, but for what I do. Somebody who's willing not to be above accountability. That's why I did the 422-mile walk, Rick. I wanted people to know how I would serve them, that I would be willing to earn their trust and be held accountable.
So as you're walking the streets of Pennsylvania, I'm sure you've seen the reports that our infrastructure, not just here in the state, but across the country, abysmal. Pennsylvania rated one of the worst in the country when it comes to our infrastructure. What did you see as you were pounding the pavement?
I saw the sinkhole saloon. Palmyra, it sinks so many times, they actually created a saloon next to the sinkhole that's never getting fixed, although they're now trying again. And that's how abysmal it's been. Look, we in Pennsylvania ranked in the top 7 of all states where 1/3 of our bridges are structurally deficient. We're like 41st of all states in the proper transportation systems. What's this have to do with things? Well, let me tell you, it's not just you and I trying to go to the shore or something. What it is people trying to get to work. What it is commerce trying to get from one end of the state to the other end. We have to invest in this. And then when you have a senator like Senator Toomey, who then filibustered transportation bill, went to a Tea Party forum and said, you know what? We did something constructive today. We killed it, the transportation bill. Now, how do you serve people like that?
And that's something I think people should remember every day while we're sitting in traffic longer, while gridlock is more, while traffic jams are more, and the choice to take public transportation non-existent.
You're absolutely right. $325 is what the average American spends because of congestion out there in our roads or because bridges are shutting down. If we were properly investing in a high-speed rail between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, we really need to do this proper investment. And there's also a second type of infrastructure, wireless. I go into rural counties. As I did that walk, I'd hold up my iPhone and I'd say, I can't use it here.
Yep.
What youth are going to stay in a rural county, be all they might be there, if you can't even use the new infrastructure of the future?
Well, we're told that that's the business of the future. I mean, that's the future of business in this country. And if you're going to leave a large portion of the country out of it, I don't know that that's a good thing nationally or for a nation.
Particularly here in Pennsylvania, where agriculture is our number one business and helps the nation so very much. Look, two things. You have Senator Toomey, who actually voted against the pilot program that Senator Lee had to bring in infrastructure of wireless infrastructure into rural counties. And second, we've had our cable telecoms, Verizon, Comcast, join together and basically have told 23 state legislatures, including Pennsylvania, that they have to pass a law, which they have, that municipalities cannot, like Chattanooga, Tennessee has done, build their own internet system where it costs so little as compared to a Verizon. Right. And not only that, is like 50 times more fast in broadband providing. And so my thing is, let the marketplace work, but let's not have telecoms be the new Standard Oil duopoly out there.
Good point. So do we have the modern day version of the Electrification Act? Is that where we go? Is that the right direction?
Without this recent FCC ruling about internet freedom is absolutely critical to us. Look, you can go around this world, and the average bill that here in America by Verizon might be about $140. Out there in the world, it's about $50. We'd have only 10% of our nation having fiber optic cable, where it's so fast that you get it instantaneously. A farmer can sit there and know immediately in Chicago what he can sell his milk or dairy products for. But you go out there to Hong Kong and 50% is fiber optic cable, or Japan. Why? Because when we have two big Standard Oil type telecoms, Verizon and Comcast, that say we're dividing up the market, I've got, of these 25 major cities, which were focused major on cities, not rural counties, you'll own these and I'll own those. All of a sudden, you don't have them investing for the good of America.
But wasn't that the whole argument for deregulation? That we would have choice and we could have competition and we, the consumers, would do so well? Isn't that the point?
Well, I guess that is the point. But when you have a public servant who actually says that, hey, guess what? Like Senator Toomey did, here's my bill. And if you happen to lose the private information of some of your customers, the Social Security numbers, et cetera, and you find it too excessive a cost, that's the word in the bill, to tell people about it, you don't have to. All of a sudden you begin wondering, are senators like Senator Toomey for we the people? Are they for the telecom companies? And so that's the issue here. Yes, deregulation, you might say, but where's government to make sure it's fair and right for the people?
So let me ask you about this. And I believe Senator Toomey voted for the Trans-Pacific Partnership Free Trade Agreement, and this, which I think is an abysmal, will be an abysmal failure, will be NAFTA on steroids and all those things that we've heard of. But it's a job killer in my view. It doesn't get any simpler than that. We learned the lessons from NAFTA. We're going to lose more manufacturing jobs. We're going to lose more of our production capacity. And you, as a military man, former admiral, you've got to be concerned, I would think, about the fact that we don't make all of the smart chips that make our smart bombs smart, and we don't make all of the things that our military needs, which to me seems kind of insane.
You know, you hit upon a great point. Take rare earth minerals. Rare earth minerals is a monopoly right now that China produces 99% throughout the world. It cut off the flow to Japan when it got upset at Japan a little while back, a few years ago. And yet here in America, every iPhone, every military plane, every piece almost of electronic equipment, including the turbines that are on our commercial flights going back and forth overhead, uses rare earth minerals. Why aren't we producing that type of ability to go out there and produce our own type of manufactured rare earth minerals products? No, I'm very concerned about this. Look, we want to set the rules of the road, particularly in the Western Pacific, not having China do it for trade. But on the other hand, how can anyone be voting for something when you don't even know what's in it?
That's
because
you
used a very important point here. You said will be. Yeah. How can you can't support something unless you know what's in it? And why aren't we being transparent about what's in this bill so we know we don't have another NAFTA job-killing treaty?
And that's my big concern. You've written the book, Walking in Your Shoes to Restore the American Dream. Where can we get it?
On my website, joesestak.com. joesestak.com, SESTAK. And look, this book is really very prescriptive, and these are the policies I want the people of Pennsylvania to hold me accountable to do. It's, this isn't a book where it's an autobiography. I grew up in a log cabin. I'm now ready to be president. No, this is about policy. I don't think everybody's going to agree with it. I got that. But I want people to understand what I believe, having listened to people, having taught here the last 3 years in Pennsylvania, researched it to say this is the way that people have to be courageous in order to grab back the soul of America, for we the people, of the policies we have to stand for to bring about the American dream to be in grasp of all Pennsylvanians and Americans again.
And some of the stories of the people that you met along the way, and we could probably spend days talking about it. You've written a fantastic book. I hope people will take a look at it. They will go to joesestak.com or just go to thericksmithshow.com and click on Joe Sestak's name. Take you right there. It's well worth the read. And I think it's worth having that conversation about policy, and I think that's where we need to be keeping things on a policy level. How does government make people's lives better? Because we've tried the other way. We've tried the laissez-faire. We've tried the privatize everything. It hasn't worked. The trickle-down stuff, I'm trickled on, but it isn't working.
You're absolutely right. Look, we do have a wonderful Constitution that says government is limited from interfering with their individual freedoms of speech, of press, of religion. But we also have the Constitution begin with those three great words, we the people. Yep. And we the people can make a government be ambitious in furthering our livelihoods, like Republican President Lincoln and Eisenhower did to invest in the Trans-Intercontinental Railroad or the Interstate Highway System. I believe we have to hold our government accountable for making sure to invest properly in furthering our individual opportunities.
There you go. I know you're on the tour. I know you got to get going. You're out there pounding the pavement again, and I give you credit. You're out there talking to folks, and I hope you'll come back and talk with us again as this continues down the road.
I will. I'd be glad to and honored to because, frankly, you care about the people.
Admiral, I appreciate you taking time. Again, the book, Walking in Your Shoes to Restore the American Dream, joesestak.com, or just go to the ricksmithshow.com, click on Joe's name. Take you right there. Joe, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Rick.
Let's take a quick break. Right back after this. Stick around.